All Renegades of Puck to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-steppin'. I am your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and we sure do appreciate you tuning in to Renegades of Puck TV. It is just about time for the home base freakout, coming up on Friday, February the 25th, at Tailgate Brewery, the Demonbreun Street location, 1538 Demonbreun Street. We are hosting the biggest tailgate that will be talked about and remembered for years to come. We are bringing the entire hockey community together. Most recently, we were able to announce an incredible partnership and special guest with the Bag Chuckers. That's right. Chris Mason and Hal Gill will be joining us on location at Tailgate Brewery for the home base freakout. And of course, Violent by Design, the world-class maniac Eric Young will be there on location with us. We will also have former Nashville Predators captain Mike Fisher will be on location with us. Former Nashville Predators player, broadcaster, and NHL Network representative Stu Grimson will be there with us. Former NHL player Bobby Ryan, former NHL player Ryan Smith, former WNHL player and college standout Allie Lacombe, Hall of Fame sports writer Teresa Walker, Haley Murphy, and so many others going to be in attendance. As a matter of fact, I've just recently heard from the last of the Renegades of Puck, and for the first time ever, each and every one of the Renegades of Puck, both past and present, are going to be in attendance at the home base freakout at Tailgate Brewery. It starts at 7 o'clock. It's all ages. There's no cover. All you have to do is show your ID at the door. We'll be bringing you details soon on how you can arrive and leave safely. We'll be giving you hopefully some Uber codes and some other ride-sharing codes very soon, but we'll be giving you a lot more details about everything that's going to be happening on the day of the event. It's just about time, my good Renegades, for the home base freakout. Cannot wait to see each and every one of you out there. Spread the word. Invite all of your hockey-loving friends. It is the home base freakout. Please go to renegadesofpuck.com, and when you're there, you can find out everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck. When you click on that merchandise link, you can find merchandise for the home base freakout. So confident in the success of the event that we've already got our merchandise up there for sale. So we'd appreciate it if you would go there and check that out. We also have our classic logo tees. We have our Pride logo tees, and of course, the gimmicks that we are famous for. We've sold out so that you can buy in. That means socks. That means throw pillows. That means wall art. That means just about anything you can imagine with our logo on it. I'll be wearing the socks to the home base freakout along with my brand new home base freakout t-shirt. So I'm looking very much forward to that. You too can support the Renegades of Puck by picking up some of that merchandise at renegadesofpuck.com. Social media is critically important to the Renegades of Puck and the success of this operation. So if you would please give us a subscription on YouTube, that would mean a lot to us. We've now gotten up to 120 subscription, and we're doing a great job in just a couple of months of operation and existence. Once that link is posted on YouTube, we would appreciate it if you would share that on Facebook, or if your preferred platform is Twitter, you can always find the Renegades of Puck and interact with them there on Twitter or on Instagram. We are also there. You can find the full broadcast of this show now in audio form on SoundCloud. We've gotten everything fixed up over there, so you have another option for consuming the essence of no half-steppin'. Also Twitch, our behind-the-scenes live stream. If there's a second take, if there are mistakes, if there is anything to be seen, including extra and bonus content, you will find it there on our live stream on Twitch. We have many different ways that you can consume this show. We just hope that you are consuming it and enjoying it. You can become a partner of the show by going to Venmo or scanning the QR code right there on the screen now. We sure do appreciate every dollar that has been sent to us. As you can tell, we have been making consistent upgrades to the bunker. New microphones, new lighting, new everything here over the All-Star break. So we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for chipping in and donating to the Renegades of Puck. Now, you're here for the no half-steppin' hockey coverage, so let's get into it immediately. Show number 609, the Nashville Predators find themselves in third place in the Central Division. After 48 games played, they have a record of 28-16-4. They have 60 points. They are 1 point behind the second place Minnesota Wild. They are 10 points behind the first-place Colorado Avalanche. They are 1 point ahead of fourth-place St. Louis. They are 8 points ahead of Dallas, 12 points ahead of Winnipeg, 19 ahead of Chicago, and 32 points ahead of the Arizona Coyotes. On home ice, which is where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place, the Nashville Predators have a record of 14-8-0. They have a goal differential of plus 15. The Nashville Predators' next opponent is the Washington Capitals. This will be a makeup game that had to be postponed during the December break that ended up taking place due to the COVID outbreak across the NHL. Once the Nashville Predators are done with this game against the Washington Capitals, they'll head out on the road for another makeup game against the Carolina Hurricanes. Then on the 22nd, they will be in Florida to take on the Panthers. The 24th, back home for Pekka Rinne retirement night and the Dallas Stars. And then, of course, the 26th of February, Tampa Bay will be in town at Nissan Stadium to face off against the Nashville Predators in the Stadium Series. After that, the Nashville Predators do get a couple of days off before heading out to Seattle to begin the month of March on the 2nd. Now, the Nashville Predators have played the Washington Capitals already this season. It was back on December the 29th. It was the Washington Capitals defeating the Nashville Predators 5-3. Carlson had a total of 4 points in the game. Trennan, Cunnin, and Forsberg scored the goals for the Nashville Predators, and UC Saros took the loss 32 out of 36. Now, the Washington Capitals, they have a record of 26-14-9. 61 points is fourth best in the Metropolitan Division. They have a damn good record on the road. 14-5-4 on the road, and that has them easily one of the better teams overall in the NHL. A plus 24 goal differential. Taking a look inside the most recent stretch of play for this Washington Capitals team, going back to January the 28th, it was a 5-0 victory in Dallas over the Stars. Following that was on February the 1st, a 4-3 overtime win at the Pittsburgh Penguins. On the 2nd of February, it was a 5-3 loss versus the Edmonton Oilers. On the 8th of February, 5-4 loss versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. And most recently, a 5-2 win at the Montreal Canadiens. When you take a look inside the NHL rankings between these two teams, there are actually quite a few very comparable metrics. Goals for 3.08 for the Nashville Predators is 14th in the NHL, while 3.24 for Washington is 11th best in the NHL. Goals against a 2.75 for the Nashville Predators is 10th, 2.76 for Washington is 11th. Now, shots for, you will see a differential in this one. The Preds are 25th overall in the NHL. Not enough quality nor quantity on the net this season overall. Shots for the Washington Capitals, 15th best in the league at 31.4. Shots against the Nashville Predators are giving up 31.7 per game. That is 16th in the NHL. Shots against 28.9 for the Washington Capitals. That is fourth best overall in the NHL. Now, this next metric may come as a huge shock and surprise. It is the Nashville Predators with the significantly better power play this season. The Preds have the 9th best power play overall in the league, 24.7% conversion, 36 out of 146 opportunities, while the Washington Capitals are rated 29th overall in the league, 15.3 conversion percentage, 22 out of 144. With the individual skill effort that you have on this Washington Capitals team, you just simply cannot believe that their power play is rated so low. But then again, it is a Peter Laviolette coached team. Penalty kill is 14th overall in the NHL for the Nashville Predators, converting at 80.7%, and the Washington Capitals have the 19th best penalty kill overall in the NHL. High-skilled individual players, of course, on both teams, and for the Washington Capitals, you know Alexander Ovechkin's always going to be right there, having an incredible season, even for his standards. 29 goals and 30 assists for 59 points. Kuznetsov at 15 goals and 33 assists for 48 points. Carlson at 9 goals and 27 assists for 36 points. Wilson at 15 and 18 for 33, and Eller at 8 and 14 for 22. Samsonov in net, 15, 6 and 3, and 905 save percentage, and a 2.85 goals against average. Expected to get the start against UC Saros, 24, 13 and 3, and 925 save percentage, and 2.43 goals against average. Scoring leaders for the Nashville Predators, of course, led by Roman Josi, 13 goals and 34 assists for 47 points. Matt Duchene, 23 goals and 20 assists for 43 points. Philip Forsberg now at the 40-point mark. 24 of those are goals. Granlund, 7 goals and 32 assists for 39 points. And Ryan Johansson is at 13 goals and 22 assists for 35 points. Tough game coming up for the Nashville Predators on home ice, hosting the Washington Capitals. In the previous game against the Caps, the Preds were down by 3 goals, then tied it, but then lost by 2. The Nashville Predators, after tonight's game, are going to have to come up with a much more complete effort, and most certainly, as you are going to hear exhaustively about in the next segment, they are going to have to remain out of the penalty box. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Rebirth Sports, you can find them, of course, at rebirthsports.com, or you can find them on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Not just the jersey that you see me wearing right here, but the jerseys that you've seen me wearing in league play over the years, the jerseys that you've seen me wearing in tournaments, not just here in the Middle Tennessee area, but on Lake Nokomis for the United States Pond Hockey Championships. Rebirth Sports takes visions and makes them reality. They're an incredible business, and they are incredible partners. And thanks to Rebirth Sports coming up the home base Freakout, we're going to be able to give away one home and one away Renegades of Puck jersey. We'll also have some great things coming up on the horizon with Rebirth Sports and the Renegades of Puck that we're very excited to tell you about in the future. For now, though, give them some stick taps, love, and respect. Go to all of their social media accounts and let them know that we were talking about them here in the trenches. They are great people. They're a great business, and we sure are proud to be in partnership with Rebirth Sports. Let's get into the recap from February the 12th of the year 2022. The Nashville Predators hosted the Winnipeg Jets at Bridgestone Arena, and John Hines deployed his lines as following: Forsberg, Granlund, and Duchesne; Cousins, Johansson, and Cunnin; Trennan, Sissons, and Jeannot; Tobin and McCarron and Tomasino, your defensive pairings; Yossi and Favreau; Ekholm and Carrier; Benning and Borowiecki both back into the lineup, which is great news for the Nashville Predators. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are 1:55 into the game, and Benning's got a big hit in the defensive zone, followed up just a couple of seconds later by Borowiecki getting a big hit on the other side of the defensive zone. Good to have those two back in the lineup for the Nashville Predators. 3:26 of the first period. We open the scoring with Mikael Granlund's seventh goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead over the Winnipeg Jets. Forsberg has possession and leaves the puck for Granlund to wind up and take a full-time, old-school slapper, and that puck beats Hellebuck. Nashville Predators with a 1-0 lead on home ice. At 4:41, Lowry's off to the box. 2 minutes for holding. UC Saros comes up with a save on a 2-on-0 short-handed breakaway. The edge work, the anticipation, just otherworldly as you have come to expect from UC Saros, and he makes the save. Matt Duchesne is able to convert on this power play for his 23rd goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 2-0 lead over the Winnipeg Jets. It was a wrist shot from the top of the circle after the captain, Roman Josi, played catch with him a couple of times high in the zone. 6:35 of the first period. Pionk's off to the box. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, but it looked like the refs were looking to even this thing up because immediately off of the puck drop, Johansson's off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. We see a 4-on-4 for a minute and 58. We see Scheifele scoring his 13th goal of the season, giving the Winnipeg Jets their first goal of the game, cutting the lead to 1. Nashville now leads 2-1. It was a one-timer short side off of a perfect cross-ice feed. Winnipeg right back in this game. 11:53 of the first period. UC Saros comes with a save on Connor. Too many turnovers since the Winnipeg goal. The Nashville Predators have suddenly become very sloppy and choppy on their own home rink. 12:29 of the first. Jeannot is off to the box. 2 minutes for boarding, a well-earned 2 minutes. Strong overall penalty kill, though, by his teammates to help bail him out. 15:02, as soon as Jeannot comes out of the box, he is facing off against Lowry. 5 minutes each, they would go and sit in the box. Jeannot would get a little bit of work in the dressing room while the period expires. 15:29 of the first period. Hellebuck makes a save on Forsberg from the slot. At 18:55, Perfetti's off to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. We hit the end of the first period. The power play would carry over for 55 seconds. The Preds are out shooting the Winnipeg Jets 17-12. With that 55 seconds to start the second period in the clean sheet, the Nashville Predators do absolutely nothing. At 2:27 of the second period, Hellebuck survives while scrambling versus Johansson's multiple and numerous jam attempts right there at the top of the crease. 5:07 of the second period. Roman Jossi's off to the box. 2 minutes for a tripping. UC Saros comes up with a save on Connor, and it's another overall decent penalty kill by the Nashville Predators. 7:25. Saros comes up with a save on Wheeler. At 8:07, Reichel hits Cunnin into Cousins. Cunnin then beats the absolute shit out of Reichel and gets himself 17 minutes of penalty. Cousins goes off to the locker room for injury. He would attempt to come back shortly after this, but then would leave the game for the rest of the evening. Do not know his status as of this recording. So Cunnin is off to the box for a total of 17 minutes. It does give a power play to the Winnipeg Jets. Saros comes up with a save on Scheifele, and then Connor gets his 26th 6th goal of the season. It was a wrist shot off of Granlund and into the net. The Winnipeg Jets tie this game up at 2 apiece. So the instigator penalty definitely comes back to hurt the Nashville Predators. 14:38 of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Connor after yet another turnover. 17:55. Tanner Jeannot hits the post at 18:10. Trennan's off to the box. 2 minutes for interference in the offensive zone. UC Saros would come up with a save on Scheifele, and then Saros come up with another save on Perfetti as we hit the end of the second period, tied at 2 apiece. Winnipeg now out shooting Nashville 27-25. A carryover of only 10 seconds into the third period. That would come and it would go immediately. Then we hit 128. Hellebuck is stopping Duchesne. 3:19. Hellebuck a big save on Forsberg. Then 7:09. Saros comes up with a save on Kopp, plus the rebound cover before Kopp could get there and do any more potential damage. At 9:36 of the third period, here is the turning point of the entire game. Borowiecki's off to the box. 5-minute major for elbowing plus the game misconduct, and I do believe this is going to lead to a possible suspension. We will probably know something about this sometime tomorrow. UC Saros comes up with a save on Connor's one-timer, but then Wheeler cashes in with a perfect backdoor deflection of Scheifele's shot. His third goal of the season, giving Winnipeg a 3-2 lead. Then Dubois, his 20th goal of the season, gives Winnipeg a 4-0 lead. That was a no-look ice-level 5-hole right through Saros into the back of the net. Scheifele goes off to the box 2 minutes for hooking, making the final 2 minutes of the 5-minute major a moot point and a 4-on-4 scenario. The Preds would pull Saros in order to try to get back into this game kind of early. And at 16:46, Wheeler would get his second goal of the game, fourth goal of the season, empty net goal, giving Winnipeg a 5-2 lead. The Winnipeg Jets would win this game at Bridgestone Arena by outshooting the Nashville Predators 43-36. And it is just simply ridiculous that the Nashville Predators came out in this game and got themselves ahead by 2 goals and then just continuously paraded off towards the penalty box. There may be a call or two that you disagree with in this game. You may think that at one point the refs were trying to even things up, but the way the Nashville Predators have been playing as of late is just so incredibly sloppy in these last 2 games. The penalties have been an issue for some time, but the Nashville Predators have been able to bail themselves out by clawing, fighting, and scratching their way back into games. This is starting to become completely unacceptable. John Hines is becoming more and more agitated by this situation, and he said it tonight after the game. The team will fix this. They're going to have to clean this up. The Washington Capitals are entirely too high skilled. I understand that their power play is not rated very highly in the NHL, but you give Alex Ovechkin any time over there in that left circle, and he's going to cash in on that one-timer. And right now, the Nashville Predators are simply just going off to the penalty box, one player after another, and it is unacceptable, and it's making the games so sloppy and so choppy that they're becoming virtually unwatchable. I hope that the Preds are going to get back to their hard-working ways, get back to their style of play and their system where they can roll all 4 lines, because if you can't keep Duchesne and Forsberg out there on the ice to try to generate some offense, you're going to end up with games like you've had against Dallas and now against Winnipeg on home ice. It's highly unfortunate. UC Saros was 38 out of 42 in this game. Just like the last game, I felt like he was kind of hung out to dry and did not receive the support that he should have by means of he was out there on the ice shorthanded against for most of this game, and 42 shots against. It's another number that just cannot happen. Mostradamus is off tonight, so we're not going to get any breakdown of UC Saros, but next episode, we'll have Mosh back in the trenches, and he'll talk to me about the recent trends of everything that's been going on between the pipes. Now, I said the quote already, and I'll say it again. John Hines, after the game, we will clean it up. He's talking about the penalties because they are officially a problem for this Nashville Predators team. Yes, they're still in third place in the Central Division, but they are only 1 point ahead of fourth place St. Louis. And there are other teams such as Dallas, such as Winnipeg, that are starting to creep back into the situation, and the Nashville Predators have directly led to both of those teams picking up points this week, allowing them to become more competitive in the races. Sean C. Smith has a lot to say about the penalties and about what John Hines had to say after the game. So from ontheforecheck.com and also from right here on Renegades of Puck TV. You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. He is, of course, the one and only Sean C. Smith.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith, and I want to talk to you about penalties. That's right. I don't have exact numbers. I don't have stats, but I do want to say that I watched the game in person, and I'm pretty sure the Predators took about 6 or 7 penalties. Some of them were a little more acceptable than others, but it did seem like the penalties have gotten out of control late and soon, especially when looking at them over the past 2 games. It seems like that's going to be a major problem for the Predators unless they can get it under control. Now, speaking of getting it under control, interestingly enough, after the game, we had a chance to talk to Mattias Ekholm. And one of the things he said was that at this point in the season, he'd much rather have a penalty problem than some kind of other organizational or game approach or a mental state problem for the team where they weren't gelling, they weren't working together well. But he did say the penalties are a problem, but they're correctable. Now, he also mentioned this. If you play the game afraid to take penalties, then you're not going to be a very good team. You're not going to play very well. You're not going to have a good game. Penalties happen. Came right out of his mouth. Ekholm said penalties are going to happen, but you'd like to try to keep it to 2 or 3 a night, not 6 or 7, not spending a lot of your time a man or 2 down on the ice. And that's kind of going to be what I think John Hynes is going to work with this team on before we see them play again, especially considering they've got the Washington Capitals coming up and their power play is pretty nasty. Now, John Hynes, he's come armed to the last 2 post-game media sessions with data. And it's pretty impressive when you see a coach not too long after the game's over come in armed with the number of penalties, the number of penalty minutes, the number of breakaways, the number of 2-on-1s or 2-on-nones that the team yielded that night. And he made the comment that, the identity of the team is a team that's hard to play against, or you heard Tanner Jeannot say a team that you don't want to play against. But he said that when you give up these penalties, and of course these aren't those penalties that, as Mattias Ekholm said, will naturally happen throughout the course of playing hard. When you give up these penalties, you become a team that's easy to play against because you're playing a man down. If you're forced to kill a penalty for the entire game, if you're playing shorthanded, your guys are going to get worn out. The whole style of play that the Predators have adapted to this season is a style of play that wears down their opponents. But if they're putting themselves on the penalty kill, putting themselves at a disadvantage, they'll be the team that's worn down, and you'll have results like you had against the Jets tonight and like you had against the Stars the other night. So moving forward, John Hynes and his crew are probably going to be working pretty intensively on getting the Predators to get a little more disciplined with their play, get their sticks under control, and make sure that the only penalties they take are the ones that are going to happen in the regular day of playing hockey against another team. So I'm going to send it back over to you, Charlie.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. He is, of course, Sean C. Smith, and I sure do appreciate Sean jumping in the trenches with us here on Renegades of Puck TV. Strong Style Fitness, incredible partner here of the show. Tracy is a dedicated, certified personal trainer that has provided 150 workouts for you. Everything from beginning stretching and just getting off the couch to going ahead and throwing some serious iron. She's got it all for you right there on her YouTube page, Strong Style Fitness. You can find Strong Style Fit by going to strongstylefit.com or Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. She's doing incredible work, and she's doing it on a donation-based service. So sure to appreciate that level of no half-stepping from Strong Style Fitness, another incredible partner here in the trenches for the Renegades of Puck. Please give stick taps love and respect to Tracy over at Strong Style Fitness. Let me give you a couple of numbers from the game against the Winnipeg Jets. Your goal scorers were Matt Duchene and Mikael Granlund. Assists being awarded to Philip Forsberg, Ryan Johansson, Alex Carrier, and Roman Josi. Leader in shots on goal for the game. Matt Duchene had 5. Mikael Granlund had 3. Yakov Trenin had 4. Mattias Ekholm also had 4. In hits, Tanner Jeannot did have 5. Mark Borowiecki, while he was still in this game, did have 6, but overall, the biggest issue and the biggest thing you'll find on the box score is the number of penalties and the number of crooked number penalty minutes. There's Jeannot with 7. There's Cunnin with 17. There's Borowiecki with 15. It has to stop, and John Hynes and everybody on this show has already talked about it enough, so I'll go ahead and leave it right there. Finishing out the box score, your time on ice, no doubt. Mikael Granlund leads the forwards in time on ice, 20-28 in overall time on ice, and Roman Josi leads the team in overall time, 22-55 in this game. Brian Baston is not going to be with us tonight, so no Renegade Analytics desk, but I'll just give you the box score. The box score is presented to you by Stripe Digital Solutions. Stripe Digital Solutions can be found Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also stripedigitalsolutions.com. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me create the logo on the wall behind me. The logo on the crest on this jersey has helped build Renegades of Puck.com and maintains it for me, and also is helping me create everything I need as far as a social media plan to go ahead and build the brand of Renegades of Puck. Working with Stripe Digital Solutions is an absolute treat, and Brandy is an incredible artist when it comes to the digital realm. You should definitely find out how Stripe Digital Solutions can help you build your brand. I know many of you are doing projects very much like Renegades of Puck TV. Trust me, believe me, Brandy can help you out. That is Stripe Digital Solutions. Listen, it's a late night in the bunker, but we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in over on our Twitch live stream and, of course, checking us out on YouTube. For each and every one of the Renegades of Puck, Sean C. Smith in the trenches tonight. We'll get Mosh, Brian, Baston, and K Perk, and the Ultimate One back in the trenches here very soon. We hope everybody enjoys that big game that's coming up that's not involving the hockey world, and we hope you're enjoying all of the Olympic hockey tournament that's going on right now. We'll be back to cover everything in the world of the Nashville Preds, the National Hockey League, and, of course, all levels of hockey across the region. We appreciate each and every one of you. It's a great and tremendous delight to be here in the bunker hosting Renegades of Puck TV. Home base Freakout. Can't wait to see each and every one of you out there. It is going to be the party of a lifetime. After 26 and a half years of doing this as a professional entertainer, it is going to be the biggest event and the biggest night of my career. So I hope that you support me. I'm counting on each and every one of you, Renegades. Everything that you see before you right now was built and spoken into existence by each and every one of you. You demanded it. Now you have it. Now we have a live event open to the public, and I hope to see each and every one of you out there. Appreciate everyone. Stick taps. Love. Respect.